Avalon Quantum English, or AQE, is a specialist teaching method developed by this school. For the past 20 years, this school has helped build students' confidence when speaking and help them develop their listening skills. And AQE is the latest version of this school's specialist teaching method. The idea is that they develop their skills through practice in a classroom environment rather than having their heads down in a course book or a textbook.
AQE is a way of learning that focuses on my speaking and listening skills.
I think it allowed me to express myself and to learn how to communicate and naturally and fluently in English.
AQE is good for teachers who want to create a dynamic and engaging learning environment. The nature of the book is such that we are, as teachers, allowed to be very, very creative and bring new ideas and new approaches into the classroom. So it helps us to develop new skills and bring new ideas to the students. But it's also very reactive, so it means that if students are struggling with something, we can talk to them about those ideas and focus on their needs rather than just what we have in front of us.
AQE is for students who want to understand real spoken English and be understood when they speak.
And for me, I think AQE is for students who don't want to study as they did at school and who want to feel more confident when they speak English.
Well, at the beginning of a new work class, I use the board to present new vocabulary and grammar. Personally, I draw a lot of cartoons to help me explain the idea. I also act a lot, I think, in class. But I think for me it's very important to board the word and use an example sentence so the word is not just used in isolation but in a real context. We also try really hard, because this is a speaking school, we try hard to give them natural pronunciation. So we like to put chunks of phonemic language on the board and encourage students to use a group of words rather than one alone.
I take a lot of notes in my book, and sometimes we write phonemes, yes, in order to practice at home and in the class.
And then my teacher asked us a lot of questions and we practice a lot speaking and answering.
And sometimes we can ask the same question to another students.
Yeah, we talk to each other.
Yes. And when I make mistakes, my teacher corrects me and I practice saying it again.
And my teacher, it helps me to express myself and more fluently with new vocabulary.
And sometimes when we want to talk about
something not in the book.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as standard teaching, because as mentioned earlier, we need to be alive to the wants and the needs of the students in front of us. So we need to be prepared to give them new vocabulary or new grammar as and when it's required. But don't panic, here at Avalon we get specialist training. We also have a teacher's book that gives you lots of tips and pointers of how to teach this way.
It looks easier than it is. We can understand a lot of grammar in English grammar and vocabulary, but sometimes it's really difficult to use it.
I didn't have a lot of confidence at the beginning, so I found challenging. But now I feel better. I feel more confident. Yeah.
AQE is really a fun and rewarding way to teach. Because we're teaching from the students in front of us and not from a book, it's unpredictable sometimes. We get lots of new language. It's just a very enjoyable environment to work in. It's really rewarding to see a student go from book 1 with barely any English to book 6 where they can express themselves clearly. In general, AQE just improves me as a teacher.
It is fun, I enjoy it, and I improve a lot.
It's different and it's dynamic.
Yeah, I like this teaching style because every lesson is different. because of me, the teacher, the students.
Yes, and now I'm being understood better in English.